to the Hindu side's plea for carbon dating of the Shivling.
सबसे पहले जो सुनवाई होगी उस पर हम लोग कार्बन डेटिंग पर अपना बल देंगे और जो 110 पर आपत्ति दिया गया है उसको खारिज हेतु हम लोग बल देंगे, क्योंकि
गुजरात में खेल महाकुंभ शुरू करके गुजरात में एक नई खेल संस्कृति का संचार किया था। प्रधानमंत्री द्वारा दिया गया ग्रामीण ओलंपिक और दिव्यांगजनों के लिए विशेष खेल महाकुंभ का अभिनव विचार अब एक उत्सववर्धक गतिविधि बन गई है। हाल ही में गुजरात के पैरालंपिक खिलाड़ियों ने भी राज्य और देश का नाम विश्व पटल पर अंकित कर दिया है। हम इसे अपने सौभाग्य समझते हैं कि गुजरात को पिछले 20 वर्षों से भी अधिक समय से माननीय श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का नेतृत्व और मार्गदर्शन प्राप्त हो रहा है। श्री नरेंद्र भाई के नेतृत्व में ही गुजरात एक पॉलिसी ड्रिवन स्टेट बना है। हमने राज्य में औद्योगिक और दूसरे विकासशील क्षेत्रों की प्रगति के साथ साथ स्पोर्ट्स के साइंटिफिक डेवलपमेंट को भी प्राथमिकता दी है। हाल ही में कुछ माह पहले गुजरात की अपनी स्पोर्ट्स पॉलिसी आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के कर कमलों से ही लॉन्च हुई है। हमने इस नीति में ऐसे प्रोविजन रखे हैं जो हमारे पारंपरिक खेलों से लेकर खेल के क्षेत्र में नई टेक्नोलॉजी के उपयोग को प्रोत्साहित करते हैं। इतना ही नहीं, खेल कूद के क्षेत्र में प्रोफेशनल स्किल डेवलपमेंट के लिए बड़ौदा जिले में विश्व स्तरीय स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी का निर्माण कार्य लगभग पूरा होने वाला है। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने हमें एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत का लक्ष्य दिया है। मुझे विश्वास है कि 36वां राष्ट्रीय खेल उत्सव एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत की भावना को मजबूत करने की दिशा में एक उत्तम पहल साबित होगा। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी अक्सर हमारा मार्गदर्शन करते हुए कहते हैं कि खेलेगा इंडिया तभी तो जीतेगा इंडिया। इसलिए इस 36वें राष्ट्रीय खेल के अंतर्गत गुजरात में आज से देश के खिलाड़ियों के लिए खेलने और खिलने का मंच खुल रहा है। गुजरात वासियों के लिए ये एक परम सौभाग्य की बात है कि नवरात्रि का महाउत्सव और खेलों का महाउत्सव दोनों एक साथ शुरू हुए हैं। मेरा आप सबको नम्र अनुरोध है कि जब भी समय मिले गुजरात की संस्कृति, यहाँ के खान पान और नवरात्रि उत्सव का आनंद आप अवश्य लें। मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि जब आप गुजरात से अपने गृह राज्य वापस जाएंगे तो गुजरात की मेहमान नवाजी और यहाँ के वाइब्रेंट कल्चर की सुनहरी याद को लेकर जाएंगे। मैं आप सभी की सफलता और आपके उज्जवल भविष्य की शुभकामना करते हुए मैं मेरी वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। भारत माता की जय, वंदे मातरम, जय जय गरवी गुजरात।
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री, आपके उत्साहपूर्ण शब्दों के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करते हैं। गुजरात की भूमि पूजनीय है, वंदनीय है और गुजरात के कई जाने माने गायक ने गुजरात की अनुपम उपमा और निरंतर हो रहे विकास को दर्शाता जय जय गरवी गुजरात गीत गाया है। आपके सामने गुजरात की गौरव गाथा को इस भव्य कार्यक्रम में हमारे गायक कलाकार और 750 से अधिक नृत्य कलाकार एक साथ साकार करने जा रहे हैं। आइए सभी कलाकारों का हम बहुत जोश के साथ स्वागत करते हैं।
आज बापुनी पुण्य भूमि पर, आज बापुनी पुण्य भूमि पर उग्यो स्वर्ण प्रभात। जय गुजरात, जय गुजरात, जय जय
Amity faculty have filed over 1600 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been conferred with the National Intellectual Property Award by Government of India for being the top Indian academic institution for patents and commercialization.
ये भारत की लोगों की जीत है। We have won. We are unfixable. There was an attempt to fabricate the truth against us. But that's oxymoronic because the truth, in a sense, can never be fabricated. Statements that have been recorded by the Enforcement Directorate, and I'm quoting, "These households denied having taken money for watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. Their statement corroborates with the raw data which was maintained independently by BAR." The data indicted Republic. Parambir said it, the Lutyens media echoed it, but no one, absolutely nobody showed what this data was. Now for the first time, the data is out in black and white. Data that showed that all the interested parties tried to suppress has now come out.
Supporting the ban on PFI and its 8 affiliate organizations, Tripura CM Makin Saha has lauded the centre for taking this step. Now, the Chief Minister of Tripura said that this was essential for the integrity of the country.
देश का अखंडता के लिए ये होना बहुत ज़रूरी है और इनके बारे में बहुत दिन से चर्चा हो रहा था, तो आज ये घोषणा हुई है, इसीलिए मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। त्रिपुरावासी की तरफ से मैं हार्दिक शुभेच्छा मैं कहता हूँ होम मिनिस्टर को, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को। बहुत ही अच्छा। कौन कहता है? जो कहता है वो देश को नहीं मोहब्बत करते हैं, ये लोग कहता है। जो देश को मोहब्बत करते हैं कभी नहीं कहेंगे ये चीज़।
Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot will meet Sonia Gandhi today. The agenda of the meeting is said to be the solution of the ongoing internal politics in the state of Rajasthan.
मिलूंगा कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट से, सोनिया जी से, उसके बाद में मैं बात करूंगा आपसे।
Page 34 says, some of the statements were contrary to the statement given to the Mumbai police inasmuch as they denied watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. The most shocking fact is BARC had the data. Why did BARC hide this data which proves there is no evidence against Republic? What a tremendous conspiracy. Tremendous conspiracy this has been against Republic. So the real scam is of the rigging of data. Rather, should I say, it's over the fabrication of data. Parambir, I'm asked why did he not show the raw data? Maybe because he knew that the raw data had nothing against Republic.
Senior party leader A.K. Anthony met party interim president Sonia Gandhi in the national capital and discussed political matters. Now, reportedly, the senior party leader Digvijaya Singh could also throw in his hat into the presidential polls contest and is likely to arrive in Delhi. In a development in the Gyanvapi case, the Varanasi court is set to hear an application moved for scientific investigation of the shivling by the ASI. The Varanasi court has rejected the Muslim side's plea for allowing 8 weeks' time before resuming the Gyanvapi case. The court also gave the Muslim side time till today to register their objections to the Hindu side's plea for carbon dating of the shivling.
सबसे पहले जो सुनवाई होगी उस पर हम लोग कार्बन डेटिंग पर अपना बल देंगे और जो 110 पर आपत्ति दिया गया है उसको खारिज हेतु हम लोग बल देंगे, क्योंकि
से मैं ध्यान शोभ से बीती गई छेरा
सभी कलाकारों को गुजरात की गौरव गाथा दर्शाने के लिए आइए एक बार फिर धन्यवाद करते हैं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का दृढ़ विश्वास है कि युवा पीढ़ी उत्साह का महासागर है और वे अपने जज्बों से बुलंदियों को छू सकते हैं। वे खेल में भी अपना दबदबा बना सकते हैं। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने इसी उपलक्ष्य में एक सपना देखा था, गुजरात में एक बेहतरीन स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी हो, जो आज स्वर्णिम गुजरात स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी के माध्यम से साकार हुआ है। मैं अनुरोध करती हूं माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी से कि वे अपने कर कमलों से स्वर्णिम गुजरात स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी का वर्चुअल लॉन्च करें।
गुजरात को भारत का स्पोर्टिंग पावर हाउस बनाने के लिए गुजरात के तत्कालीन मुख्यमंत्री और वर्तमान प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने स्वर्णिम गुजरात स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी की परिकल्पना की थी। वो बीज आज एक बड़ा वट वृक्ष बन चुका है और वडोदरा के देसर में आकार ले चुका है। आज माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी देश को समर्पित कर रहे हैं स्वर्णिम गुजरात स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी का भव्य और आधुनिक भवन। 130 एकड़ में फैली और 108 करोड़ से अधिक के खर्च से बनी ये यूनिवर्सिटी सभी अत्याधुनिक सुविधाओं से सज्ज है। उच्च स्तरीय ट्रेनिंग उपकरण युक्त जिम, न्यूट्रिशन एंड फिजियोथेरेपी फैसिलिटीज, वॉलीबॉल, बास्केटबॉल, हैंडबॉल, खो-खो, कबड्डी के लिए मैदान, अंतर्राष्ट्रीय आकार के फुटबॉल मैदान के साथ 400 मीटर सिंथेटिक एथलेटिक ट्रैक और ओलंपिक साइज स्विमिंग पूल। इन सभी मॉडर्न फैसिलिटीज के साथ ये यूनिवर्सिटी गुजरात के युवा खिलाड़ियों को जीत के जज्बों से भर रही है। अब इस यूनिवर्सिटी में कश्मीर से लेकर कन्याकुमारी तक और असम से लेकर द्वारका तक के छात्र इन आधुनिक सुविधाओं का लाभ उठा पाएंगे। साथ ही फैकल्टी डेवलपमेंट और स्टूडेंट एक्सचेंज प्रोग्राम के माध्यम से नए नए विचारों और तकनीक के साथ खेल के क्षेत्रों में ये यूनिवर्सिटी अपना नाम रोशन करेगी।
स्वर्णिम गुजरात स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी ने यहाँ स्पोर्ट्स इकोसिस्टम बनाने में बड़ी भूमिका निभाई है। ये सभी प्रयास स्पोर्ट्स वर्ल्ड में गुजरात और भारत की प्रोफेशनल प्रेजेंस को और मजबूत करेगी।
अब गुजरात का लक्ष्य है खिलाड़ियों को डिग्री, डिप्लोमा और सर्टिफिकेट कोर्सेज से आगे जाकर विशिष्ट स्पोर्टिंग सुविधाएं गुजरात में मुहैया कराना। स्कूल, कॉलेज, यूनिवर्सिटीज, फिटनेस सेंटर, हॉस्पिटल, योगा सेंटर, इंडस्ट्रीज, स्पोर्ट्स सेंटर्स, क्लब और आईटी सेक्टर में रोजगार के अवसर बनाना ताकि गुजरात के विद्यार्थियों को मिले बेस्ट स्पोर्ट्स एजुकेशन। वो बने स्पोर्ट्स इकोसिस्टम का हिस्सा और गुजरात को बनाया जा सके भारत का स्पोर्टिंग पावर हाउस। स्वर्णिम गुजरात स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटी, खेल के क्षेत्र में गुजरात की एक नई पहल।
गुजरात के खेल वीरों और समग्र देश की जनता को ये अनुपम भेंट देने के लिए माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। देश की युवा शक्ति को खेल के लिए जिन्होंने प्रोत्साहित किया, जो देश के युवा धन को स्पोर्ट्स में हर सुविधा मिले उसके लिए संकल्पबद्ध हैं। वैसे हमारे अत्यंत प्रिय और सम्माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को आइए हर्ष ध्वनि से उनके विशिष्ट संबोधन के लिए और 36वें नेशनल गेम्स का शुभारंभ करने के लिए इस भव्य स्टेडियम में पधारने का निमंत्रण देते हैं।
भारत माता की, भारत माता की। इस भव्य आयोजन में हमारे साथ उपस्थित गुजरात के गवर्नर आचार्य देवव्रत जी, हमारे लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री भूपेंद्र भाई, संसद के मेरे साथी सीआर पाटिल, भारत सरकार में मंत्री श्री अनुराग जी, राज्य के मंत्री हरसंघवी जी, मेयर किरीट भाई, खेल संस्थाओं के प्रतिनिधिगण और देश भर से यहां जुटे मेरे युवा खिलाड़ियों, आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है, अभिनंदन है। ये दृश्य, ये तस्वीर, ये माहौल शब्दों से परे है। विश्व का सबसे बड़ा स्टेडियम, विश्व का इतना युवा देश और देश का सबसे बड़ा खेल उत्सव, जब आयोजन इतना अद्भुत और अद्वितीय हो तो उसकी ऊर्जा ऐसी ही असाधारण होगी। देश के 36 राज्यों से 7,000 से ज्यादा एथलीट्स, 15,000 से ज्यादा प्रतिभागी, 35,000 से ज्यादा कॉलेज, यूनिवर्सिटी और स्कूलों की सहभागिता और 50 लाख से ज्यादा स्टूडेंट्स का नेशनल गेम से सीधा जुड़ाव, ये अद्भुत है, ये अभूतपूर्व है। नेशनल गेम्स का एंथम जुड़ेगा इंडिया, जीतेगा इंडिया। मैं कहूंगा जुड़ेगा इंडिया, आप बोलिए जीतेगा इंडिया। जुड़ेगा इंडिया, जुड़ेगा इंडिया, जुड़ेगा इंडिया। ये शब्द, ये भाव आज आसमान में गूंज रहा है। आपका उत्साह आज आपके चेहरों पर चमक रहा है। ये चमक आगाज है खेल की दुनिया के आने वाले सुनहरे भविष्य के लिए। नेशनल गेम्स का ये प्लेटफॉर्म आप सभी के लिए एक नया लॉन्चिंग पैड का काम करेगा। मैं इन खेलों में शामिल हो रहे सभी खिलाड़ियों को मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। साथियों, मैं आज गुजरात के लोगों की भी सराहना करता हूं, जिन्होंने बहुत ही कम समय में इस भव्य आयोजन के लिए सारी व्यवस्थाएं की। ये गुजरात का सामर्थ्य है, यहां के लोगों का सामर्थ्य है। लेकिन साथियों, अगर आपको कहीं कमी महसूस हो, कहीं कोई असुविधा महसूस हो, तो उसके लिए मैं गुजराती के नाते आप सबसे एडवांस में क्षमा मांग लेता हूं। कल अहमदाबाद में जिस तरह का शानदार भव्य ड्रोन शो हुआ, वो देखकर तो हर कोई अचंभित है, गर्व से भरा है। टेक्नोलॉजी का ऐसा सदा हुआ इस्तेमाल ड्रोन की तरह ही गुजरात को, भारत को नई ऊंचाइयों पर ले जाएगा। यहां जो पहले नेशनल स्पोर्ट्स कॉन्क्लेव का आयोजन किया गया, उसकी सफलता की भी बहुत चर्चा हो रही है। इन सारे प्रयासों के लिए मैं मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमान भूपेंद्र भाई पटेल और उनकी पूरी टीम की भी भूरी भूरी प्रशंसा करता हूं। अभी कुछ दिन पहले नेशनल गेम्स का ऑफिशियल मैस्कॉट सावज भी लॉन्च हुआ है। गिर के शेरों को प्रदर्शित करता शुभांकर सावज भारत के युवाओं के मिजाज को दिखाता है। निडर होकर मैदान में उतरने के जुनून को दिखाता है। ये वैश्विक परिदृश्य में तेजी से उभरते भारत के सामर्थ्य का भी प्रतीक है। साथियों, आज आप यहां जिस स्टेडियम में, जिस स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स में मौजूद है, इसकी विशालता और आधुनिकता भी एक अलग प्रेरणा का कारण है। ये स्टेडियम तो दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा स्टेडियम है ही, साथ ही ये सरदार पटेल स्पोर्ट्स एन्क्लेव और कॉम्प्लेक्स भी कई मायनों में सबसे अनूठा है। आमतौर पर ऐसे स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स एक या दो या तीन खेलों पर ही केंद्रित होकर रह जाते हैं, लेकिन सरदार पटेल स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स में फुटबॉल, हॉकी, बास्केटबॉल, कबड्डी, बॉक्सिंग और लॉन टेनिस जैसे अनेकों खेलों की सुविधा एक साथ उपलब्ध है। ये एक तरह से पूरे देश के लिए एक मॉडल है, क्योंकि जब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इस स्टैंडर्ड का होता है तो खिलाड़ियों का मनोबल भी एक नई ऊंचाई तक पहुंच जाता है। मुझे विश्वास है हमारे सभी खिलाड़ी इस कॉम्प्लेक्स के अपने अनुभवों को जरूर एंजॉय करेंगे। मेरे नौजवान साथियों, सौभाग्य से इस समय नवरात्रि का पावन अवसर भी चल रहा है। गुजरात में मां दुर्गा की उपासना से लेकर गरबा तक यहां की अपनी अलग ही पहचान है। जो खिलाड़ी दूसरे राज्यों से आए हैं उनसे मैं कहूंगा कि खेल के साथ ही यहां नवरात्रि आयोजन का भी आनंद जरूर लीजिए। गुजरात के लोग आपकी मेहमान नवाजी में, आपके स्वागत में कोई कोर कसर नहीं छोड़ेंगे। वैसे मैंने देखा है कि कैसे हमारे नीरज चोपड़ा कल गरबा का आनंद ले रहे थे। उत्सव की यही खुशी हम भारतीयों को जोड़ती है, एक दूसरे का साथ देने के लिए प्रेरित करती है। मैं इस अवसर पर आप सभी को, सभी गुजरात वासियों और देशवासियों को एक बार फिर नवरात्रि की बधाई देता हूं। मेरे युवा मित्रों, किसी भी देश की प्रगति और दुनिया में उनके सम्मान का खेलों में उसकी सफलता से सीधा संबंध होता है। राष्ट्र को नेतृत्व देश का युवा देता है और खेल, स्पोर्ट्स उस युवा की ऊर्जा का, उसके जीवन निर्माण का प्रमुख स्रोत होता है। आज भी आप देखेंगे दुनिया में जो देश विकास और अर्थव्यवस्था में टॉप पर है, उनमें से ज्यादातर मेडल लिस्ट में भी टॉप पर होते हैं। इसलिए खेल के मैदान में खिलाड़ियों की जीत, उनका दमदार प्रदर्शन अन्य क्षेत्रों में देश की जीत का भी रास्ता बनाता है। स्पोर्ट्स की सॉफ्ट पावर देश की पहचान को, देश की छवि को कई गुना ज्यादा बेहतर बना देती है। साथियों, मैं स्पोर्ट्स के साथियों को अक्सर कहता हूं, सक्सेस स्टार्ट्स विथ एक्शन। यानी आपने जिस क्षण शुरुआत कर दी, उसी क्षण सफलता की शुरुआत भी हो गई। आपको लड़ना पड़ सकता है, जूझना पड़ सकता है, आप लड़खड़ा सकते हैं, गिर सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर आपने दौड़ने का जज्बा नहीं छोड़ा है, आप चलते जा रहे हैं, तो ये मान करके चलिए कि जीत खुद एक एक कदम आपकी ओर बढ़ रही है। आजादी के अमृत काल में देश ने इसी हौसले के साथ नए भारत के निर्माण की शुरुआत की है। एक समय था जब दुनिया ओलंपिक जैसे वैश्विक खेल महाकुंभ के लिए दीवानी होती थी, लेकिन हमारे यहां वो खेल बरसों तक सिर्फ जनरल नॉलेज के विषय के तौर पर ही समेट दिए गए थे। लेकिन अब मिजाज बदला है, मूड नया है, माहौल नया है। 2014 से फर्स्ट एंड बेस्ट का जो सिलसिला देश में शुरू हुआ है, हमारे युवाओं ने वो जलवा खेलों में भी बरकरार रखा है। आप देखिए, 8 साल पहले तक भारत के खिलाड़ी 100 से भी कम इंटरनेशनल इवेंट्स में हिस्सा लेते थे। अब भारत के खिलाड़ी 300 से भी ज्यादा इंटरनेशनल इवेंट्स में शामिल होते हैं। 8 साल पहले भारत के खिलाड़ी 20-25 खेलों को खेलने के जाते थे। अब भारत के खिलाड़ी करीब 40 अलग अलग खेलों में हिस्सा लेने जाते हैं। आज भारत के मेडल की संख्या भी बढ़ रही है और भारत की दमक भी बढ़ रही है। कोरोना के कठिन समय में भी देश ने अपने खिलाड़ियों का मनोबल कम नहीं होने दिया। हमने हमारे युवाओं को हर जरूरी संसाधन दिए, ट्रेनिंग के लिए विदेश भेजा। हमने स्पोर्ट्स स्पिरिट के साथ स्पोर्ट्स के लिए काम किया। टॉप्स जैसी योजनाओं के जरिए वर्षों तक मिशन मोड में तैयारी की। आज बड़े बड़े खिलाड़ियों की सफलता से लेकर नए खिलाड़ियों के भविष्य निर्माण तक टॉप्स एक बड़ी भूमिका निभा रहा है। आज हमारे युवा हर खेल में नए रिकॉर्ड बना रहे हैं और अपने ही रिकॉर्ड ब्रेक भी करते चले जा रहे हैं। टोक्यो में इस बार भारत ने ओलंपिक्स का अपना सबसे शानदार प्रदर्शन किया। टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स में पहली बार युवाओं ने इतने मेडल्स देश के नाम किए। उसके बाद थॉमस कप में हमने हमारी बैडमिंटन टीम की जीत का जश्न मनाया। युगांडा में पैरा बैडमिंटन टीम ने भी 47 मेडल जीतकर देश की शान बढ़ाई। इस सफलता का सबसे ताकतवर पक्ष ये है कि इसमें हमारी बेटियां भी बराबरी से भागीदार है। हमारी बेटियां आज सबसे आगे तिरंगे की शान बढ़ा रही है। साथियों, खेल की दुनिया में ये सामर्थ्य दिखाने की क्षमता देश में पहले भी थी। ये विजय अभियान पहले भी शुरू हो सकता था, लेकिन खेलों में जो प्रोफेशनलिज्म होना चाहिए था, उसकी जगह परिवारवाद और भ्रष्टाचार ने ले रखी थी। हमने सिस्टम की सफाई भी की और युवाओं में उनके सपनों के लिए भरोसा भी जगाया। देश अब केवल योजनाएं नहीं बनाता, बल्कि अपने युवाओं के साथ कदम से कदम मिलाकर आगे बढ़ता है। इसलिए आज फिट इंडिया और खेलो इंडिया जैसे प्रयास एक जन आंदोलन बन गए। इसलिए आज खिलाड़ियों को ज्यादा से ज्यादा संसाधन भी दिए जा रहे हैं और ज्यादा से ज्यादा अवसर भी मिल रहे हैं। पिछले 8 वर्ष में देश का खेल बजट करीब करीब 70% बढ़ा है। आज देश में स्पोर्ट्स यूनिवर्सिटीज बन रही है, कोने कोने में आधुनिक स्पोर्ट्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर तैयार किया जा रहा है। इतना ही नहीं, रिटायर होने के बाद भी खिलाड़ियों को कोई तकलीफ न हो, इसके लिए भी प्रयास किया जा रहा है। रिटायर होने वाले खिलाड़ियों के अनुभवों का लाभ नई पीढ़ी को मिल सके, इस दिशा में भी काम हो रहा है। साथियों, स्पोर्ट्स, खेल हजारों वर्षों से भारत की सभ्यता और संस्कृति का हिस्सा रहा है। खेल हमारी विरासत और विकास यात्रा का जरिया रहे हैं। आजादी के अमृत काल में देश अपनी विरासत पर गर्व के साथ इस परंपरा को पुनर्जीवित कर रहा है। अब देश के प्रयास और उत्साह केवल एक खेल तक सीमित नहीं है, बल्कि कलारीपट्टू और योगासन जैसे भारतीय खेलों को भी महत्व मिल रहा है। मुझे खुशी है कि इन खेलों को नेशनल गेम्स जैसे बड़े आयोजनों में शामिल किया गया है। जो खिलाड़ी इन खेलों का प्रतिनिधित्व यहां कर रहे हैं, उन्हें मैं एक बात विशेष तौर पर कहना चाहता हूं। आप एक और हजारों वर्ष पुरानी परंपरा को आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं, तो साथ ही खेल जगत के भविष्य को नेतृत्व भी दे रहे हैं। आने वाले समय में जब इन खेलों को वैश्विक मान्यता मिलेगी, तो इन क्षेत्रों में आपका नाम लीजेंड्स के रूप में लिया जाएगा। साथियों, आखिरी में आप सभी खिलाड़ियों को मैं एक मंत्र और देना चाहता हूं। अगर आपको कंपटीशन जीतना है, तो आपको कमिटमेंट और कंटिन्यूटी को जीना सीखना होगा। खेलों में हार जीत को कभी भी हमें आखिरी नहीं मानना चाहिए। ये स्पोर्ट्स स्पिरिट आपके जीवन का हिस्सा होना चाहिए। तभी भारत जैसे युवा और भारत जैसा युवा देश, उसके सपनों को आप नेतृत्व देंगे, असीमित संभावनाओं को साकार करेंगे। और आपको याद रखना है, जहां गति होती है वहीं पर प्रगति होती है। इसलिए इस गति को आपको मैदान से बाहर भी बनाकर रखना है। ये गति आपके जीवन का मिशन होना चाहिए। मुझे विश्वास है, नेशनल गेम्स में आपकी जीत देश को जश्न का मौका भी देगी और भविष्य के लिए एक नया विश्वास भी जगाएगी। इसी विश्वास के साथ ये 36वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों के शुभारंभ का आह्वान करता हूं।
धन्यवाद। भारत की एकता और अखंडता का शक्तिशाली प्रतीक है टॉर्च ऑफ यूनिटी। ये राष्ट्रीय खेलों में देश की एकजुटता का प्रतीक है, जीवन के हर पहलू में निष्पक्ष रहने की प्रतिज्ञा है। आइए टॉर्च ऑफ यूनिटी की महत्ता दर्शाती एक एवी देखते हैं।
आज से 12 साल पहले प्रधानमंत्री और तत्कालीन मुख्यमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने साल 2010 में गुजरात में खेल महाकुंभ प्रारंभ किया। नरेंद्र मोदी जी की स्पोर्ट्समैन स्पिरिट से 2014 में गुजरात का खेल महाकुंभ देश में खेलो इंडिया अभियान बना। विश्व में भारत के खिलाड़ियों ने अपना परचम लहराया।
आप सभी देश को सिर्फ एक मेडल नहीं, सिर्फ सेलिब्रेट करने का, गर्व करने का अवसर ही देते, ऐसा नहीं है, बल्कि एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत की भावना को आप और सशक्त करते हैं।
जब 36th नेशनल गेम्स की बारी आई तो देश ने गुजरात को जिम्मेदारी दी और सिर्फ 3 महीने में मुख्यमंत्री श्री भूपेंद्र पटेल ने मिशन मोड में काम किया। खेल महाकुंभ का आयोजन, स्पोर्ट्स कार्निवल, हर स्कूल में नेशनल गेम्स का इवेंट, समर कैंप ने गुजरात को एक सूत्र में पिरोया। नेशनल गेम्स को गुजरात और देश से जोड़कर एकता की मशाल जलाई। भारत के राष्ट्रीय पुष्प कमल से प्रेरित टॉर्च ऑफ यूनिटी खेल में पवित्रता का संदेश देती है। खेल से खिलाड़ियों को, खिलाड़ियों से देश को जोड़ती एकता की मशाल है। टॉर्च ऑफ यूनिटी सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल के एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत का आगाज है।
आज हमारे साथ भारत के सर्वश्रेष्ठ इंटरनेशनल एथलीट्स मौजूद हैं। आइए जोश के साथ स्वागत करते हैं मिस्टर नीरज चोपड़ा, मिस पीवी सिंधु, मिस्टर रवि दहिया, मिस वीराबाई चानू, मिस्टर गगन नारंग, मिस अंजू बॉबी जॉर्ज और मिस्टर दिलीप तिरके का। और ये है टॉर्च ऑफ यूनिटी जो गुजरात की ओलंपिक स्विमर मिस हाना पटेल ने शुरू कर की है हमारे प्रधानमंत्री जी को। सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल के इस अखंड भारत की ये टॉर्च ऑफ यूनिटी यूं ही एकता का संदेश देती रहेगी, ऐसा हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है। धन्यवाद माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी आपके प्रोत्साहनपूर्ण शब्दों के लिए और 36वें नेशनल गेम्स का शुभारंभ करने के लिए। खेल लोगों को एकजुट करता है, उनमें साहस और आत्मविश्वास का संचार करता है। खेल जीतने के जज्बे को, एकता को और अपना श्रेष्ठ प्रदर्शन दिखाने के लिए प्रेरित करता है और इसी पर आधारित है हमारा नेशनल गेम्स एंथम। एक खिलाड़ी में आत्मविश्वास, जोश एवं सफल होने की तीव्र इच्छा होनी चाहिए और आक्रामकता और धैर्य से जो जीत हासिल करे वो ही सच्चा खिलाड़ी है। गुजरात के सावज में सारे लक्षण मौजूद है और इसीलिए वे हैं हमारे नेशनल गेम्स के मैस्कॉट।
जुड़ेगा इंडिया, जीतेगा इंडिया, जुड़ेगा इंडिया, जीतेगा इंडिया।
So in order to win we must play, and to play we must get on the field first. ना सोना ना चांदी ना पीतल से, खेल तो बनता है जोश से। जुड़ेगा इंडिया, जीतेगा इंडिया, दहाड़ेंगे हम जोर से।
साबरमती से साहस ले, लोह पुरुष से हिम्मत ले, तू किस्मत का रुख मोड़ेगा, दौड़ेगा, जोड़ेगा, दौड़ेगा, जोड़ेगा, दौड़ेगा, जोड़ेगा। देश की रगों में दौड़ेगा, खेल देश को जोड़ेगा, देश की रगों में दौड़ेगा, खेल देश को जोड़ेगा।
Yeah, welcome to the 36th National Games, bringing unity with sports. So come on then, let the forces collide like Tribini Sangam. It is time we must shine, go beyond, man. Put the best foot forward, do your A game. Show the disbelieving haters you're a champion. Gotta do it for yourself, gotta do it for your fam, gotta do it for your nation, gotta do it 'cause you can. Come on.
रोका कितनों ने, तू रुका नहीं, टोका कितनों ने, तू झुका नहीं, तू क्या है उनको पता नहीं। मुश्किलन सा विशाल तू रानी की वापसी तू गहरी रात वरना सोया तू दिन शाम क्या क्या तू पहली तूफान को पिया तूने एक घूट में one shot down दर्द को दिया तूने चोट चोट में no we go back down पंछेर तू तो हारेगा तू खुद से आगे दौड़ेगा that's right दौड़ेगा देश की रगों में दौड़ेगा खेल देश को जोड़ेगा देश की रगों में दौड़ेगा खेल देश को जोड़ेगा
United we walk in unison, we talk, there's beauty everywhere, don't you see that? We don't ever stop, we fly as a flock, there's nobody better, you can feel that. Judega India, jeetega India, we're working our way to the top, yo. Judega India, jeetega India, don't believe me, just watch me. Come, let's play.
धन्यवाद। हमारा भारत एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत है। पूरे विश्व में भारत एक नई शक्ति बनकर उभर रहा है। हमारी एकता ही हमारी सच्ची ताकत है, पहचान है। देश भर से आए 7,000 से ज्यादा एथलीट्स यही संदेश एक मार्च पास्ट के माध्यम से हमारे सामने उजागर करेंगे। तो आइए जोश के साथ आमंत्रित करते हैं सबसे पहले सर्विसेज स्पोर्ट्स कंट्रोल बोर्ड के एथलीट्स को मार्च पास्ट के लिए। सर्विसेज स्पोर्ट्स कंट्रोल बोर्ड के जाबाज एथलीट, आइए जोश के साथ उनका स्वागत करते हैं। ढेरों शुभकामनाएं आप सभी को। अब है हमारे अंडमान निकोबार आइलैंड्स के खेल वीरों की बारी। आइए स्वागत करते हैं एथलीट्स फ्रॉम अंडमान निकोबार आइलैंड्स। Let us welcome with grand applause the people from Chandigarh, the athletes who will show their best, who will showcase and promise to give very best in National Games.
The 36th National Games have got off to a glittering start. What a fantastic, spectacular opening ceremony we've witnessed in the august company of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, the Chief Minister of Gujarat, the Union Sports Minister Anurag Thakur, and a host of other dignitaries in the presence of a lot of athletes. As we can see, all the teams are slowly making their way into the stadium, and you're watching this live on Doordarshan and Prasar Bharati, and of course our YouTube channel too. The 36th National Games have just been declared open from the 29th of September to the 12th of October across 6 centers in Gujarat, and over 7,000 athletes, nearly 7,183 athletes will be participating in the games, and they'll be fighting for a host of medals. As they say, this is where it starts. This is where India is going to find its next big talent. And the creme de la creme of Indian sports has ascended right here in Ahmedabad right now. As you're seeing this live visuals, each team walking past, waving to the crowd, And what a crowd here at the Narendra Modi Stadium, the iconic stadium here. And one has to say, remember that we are also live streaming this opening ceremony on all our 3 social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and of course YouTube. And you can write into us with the hashtag National Games 2022. Arunachal Pradesh contingent marching past. This is just not even day 1. The real action starts tomorrow. And of course, from 28 states, 8 union territories, there'll be total 36 teams, including services, the sports team of the Indian Armed Forces, which will be competing in 35 sporting disciplines. And what a competition it will be. Spectacular to watch. A lot of big ticket names from the world of Indian sport, as well as a lot of new names. And the beaming dignitaries watch, clapping their hands, putting their hands together for the next generation of Indian talent. And of course, the National Games, as one must remember, is making a comeback after a long gap of nearly 7 years. In fact, technically, one can say that this competition is also already started with the table tennis competition, which was held between September 2024. A couple of other events also did start. But remember, this is the opening ceremony you're watching live and exclusively on Doordarshan and Prasar Bharati network, television and digital as well. Live from the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. And of course, the majority of the events, that's the Chhattisgarh team walking past. Gujarat is hosting the games across 6 cities. Ahmedabad, that's where you're watching this opening ceremony from. Gandhinagar, Surat, Vadodara, Rajkot and Bhavnagar. And remember, this is the first time Gujarat is hosting the National Games. However, just the track cycling event will be taking place at the Velodrome in Delhi, Haryana. Strong contenders, Goa. What a spectacle, what a day, what a time it will be for all these athletes representing their respective team, their respective states and union territories. The last edition of the Games, remember, took place way back in 2015 in Kerala. So in fact, the Games, National Games is back after a hiatus of 7 years. Himachal Pradesh marching in. You can also see Haryana. And the National Games always do take place every 2 years. Other than the years in which the Olympic Games, the Asian Games are hosted. And a smiling Prime Minister, Honorable Shri Narendra Modi, standing up and applauding the athletes. He knows this is where it all begins for India. Narendra Modi ji, the pioneer of the Khelo India movement, the pioneer of Fit India movement. And what can one ask for if you have your own, very own Honorable Prime Minister egging you on and asking you to show your interest and come forward and participate in sports. Khelo India, iconic phrase. The whole of the nation rises up to this phrase. That's the Jharkhand team marching by, beaming smiles. But the palpable tension is building up because they know it'll be back to business. The tough test starts from tomorrow. And of course, more than 7,000 athletes. In fact, the precise figure should be around 7,183 athletes will be competing from across 28 states and 8 union territories, along with the services. That's the sports team of the Indian Armed Forces. 36 sporting events in total. Marching in as they go, beaming smiles, full of pride, very, very proud for their home associations, for the states they represent. But they know the tough test, the acid test, starts from tomorrow. And there you see the gigantic mascot looking on, and a beaming Prime Minister applauding as the Madhya Pradesh contingent marches in. Aquatics, archery, Indian archery, athletics, badminton, basketball, beach sports, boxing, canoeing, cycling, fencing, football, golf. In the meanwhile, Maharashtra's come in. That's a Maharashtra contingent. Golf, gymnastics, hockey, judo, kabaddi, kho-kho, lawn bowls, malkham, netball, roller sports, rowing, rugby, rugby sevens, shooting, soft tennis, softball, squash, table tennis, triathlon, volleyball, weightlifting, wrestling, wushu, and yogasana. Host of events, slew of events, a slew of, and a huge cheer there for the Manipur contingent. And there you can see the cynosure of all eyes. She will be in action tomorrow. That will be the big spectacle tomorrow, as the Manipur fielding a very, very strong contingent. The Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, keeping a keen eye on the proceedings. Meghalaya follows Manipur. And of course, the wrestling competition starts and gets off tomorrow, right away. And there will be a lot of action there, which will be covered live on Doordarshan. And remember, there's a slew of medals which awaits the winners. Mizoram right now marching in. And of course, the competition hots up. This is where it all starts. This is exactly where it all starts. Hockey slated to happen in Rajkot. And of course, as we just watched a while back, tomorrow it will be the day when Mirabai Chanu starts her round in the competition. Young and old, inexperienced and experienced, novices and the past masters. Everybody's there. Everybody's there. That's Nagaland. Nagaland contingent marching in. Pretty small contingent compared to the others. Followed by Odisha. Odisha sees a massive focus on sport of late, and they'll be hoping to increase the tally. Remember, the table tennis event began a little bit early because the majority of the players have to leave for the World Championship. Gujarat's Harmeet Desai and West Bengal's, of course, Sutirtha Mukherjee won the singles gold medal in the men's and women's competition respectively. Punjab, Sada Punjab, Apna Punjab, marching in. What a view. And these are the moments the athletes live for. They can see this is a stadium. In fact, this is the biggest stadium in the world, the biggest cricket stadium in the world, the Narendra Modi Stadium. An iconic venue, right in Ahmedabad, in Motera, bang in the heart of the city. The biggest stadium, and look at that, it's packed to the rafters. Braving the heat, people, and mainly children, school children have come in support of sport, in support of the favorite teams. It's back to the rafters. What excitement. Sikkim marches past. And Gujarat and West Bengal have had a good start. They won the gold medal in the team competition in table tennis as well. Tamil Nadu there. They come in with a relatively inexperienced, one would say, the critics might say, inexperienced athletics team. Might not be having majority of the top stars. But you can never count them out. Tamil Nadu, Kerala, very, very good. And Kerala, one will be looking at Kerala also with bated breath, looking at how they perform. A number of big stars will be taking part. We've already seen Mirabai Chanu, Avinar Sable, Murali Srishankar, Anurani and Srihari Natraj are expected to turn up in the respective states and teams. And as far as the last edition of the National Games is concerned, the services team, they were the champions. The athletes from services won 91 gold medals and a total of close to 160 medals. And they've been doing pretty well. Tripura in there. And as we know from the history of the National Games, among the majority of the states, athletes from Manipur, Haryana, Kerala, Maharashtra and Punjab have done very, very well. Uttar Pradesh, another big power in Indian sport. A state where the government and the administration backs their athletes to the hilt. And they will also be expected to do very, very well. Uttarakhand, following Uttar Pradesh. Games, remember, will be televised live on Doordarshan Sports and of course the YouTube channel of Prasar Bharati Sports. And of course, you can follow the action live. And as you can see, the Honorable Prime Minister himself has taken time out from his busy schedule to come here and declare the games over. What a day it will be for the athletes. What a moment it has been. West Bengal, here they come marching in. They've already collected their first medals, won their first medals in table tennis. West Bengal, like Gujarat, they've done pretty well in the women's singles and also the team event, picking up a clutch of medals there. So lots of hopes there from West Bengal contingent as well. Here they come, the hosts, Gujarat, the biggest contingent in the game so far, and you can hear the rapturous cheers, the crowd literally on its feet, the dignitaries including the PM standing up to applaud, and this is the biggest contingent so far, Gujarat, and of course they'll be eyeing the maximum number of medals. Ecstatic the crowd has got, brings a big smile on the PM's face, and acknowledging the crowd and the cheers, the athletes are waving. Some of them in fact even have their mobile phones out. The reason being they're capturing this moment for posterity, because as they sport is more about the moments, the iconic moments. You live in those moments, and of course what a moment it will be in front of the home crowd, in front of their own Chief Minister, in front of the Prime Minister of India, the largest contingent there. Gujarat, right here inside the stadium, host state. They're expected to do very, very well. And what a scene it has been. What a dazzling opening ceremony. Just look at the pictures, and possibly you get a feel of it from a distance, from wherever you're sitting and watching this telecast live on BT Sports. Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi has just declared the 36th edition of the National Games open, and we expect to see scintillating action over the next 2 weeks.
7 વર્ષ પછી આયોજન થઈ રહ્યું છે, ત્યારે ગુજરાત પહેલીવાર યજમાન રાજ્ય બનીને દેશભરથી આવેલા સર્વે ખેલાડીઓનું સ્વાગત કરે છે અને ગર્વથી કહે છે, जुड़ेगा इंडिया, जीतेगा इंडिया। आज इस विशिष्ट अवसर पर जब 36वें नेशनल गेम्स का शुभारंभ हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी द्वारा किया गया है, तब हम स्पोर्ट्स प्रोटोकॉल के अनुसंधान में इंडिया एवं स्टेट एसोसिएशन के साथ इंडियन ओलंपिक एसोसिएशन का फ्लैग अनफर्ल करने जा रहे हैं। और अब बात है ओट्स। Mr. Anshul Kothari, the Asian Games swimmer, will be the flag bearer. Narendra Modi Stadium માં આ ક્ષણને આપણે તાળીઓથી વધાવીશું. And now I will request Olympian tennis player Miss Ankita Rena to take the oath on behalf of all the players of the 36th National Games.
We swear that we will take part in the 36th National Games 2020 Gujarat. In the name of all athletes, I promise that we will take part in the National Games, respecting and abiding by the rules which govern them. without the use of drug and doping, in the true spirit of sportsmanship, for the glory of sports and honor of our teams.
थैंक यू। जैसे खेल देश को जोड़ता है, वैसे ही गीत संगीत की साधना दिलों को जोड़ती है। हम 9 दिनों का त्योहार नवरात्रि मना रहे हैं, जो आस्था, भक्ति और संगीत से सजा अद्भुत त्योहार है। आज नवरात्रि के चौथे दिन हम एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत की थीम पर आधारित गुजरात का सुंदर गरबा यहाँ आपके सामने लेकर आए हैं। तालियों की गूंज के साथ आइए देश भर से गुजरात की धन्य धरा पर पधारे प्रतिभाशाली डांसर्स का स्वागत करते हैं।
बोल
ये भारत की लोगों की जीत है।
We have won. We are unfixable. There was an attempt to fabricate the truth against us, but that's oxymoronic because the truth, in a sense, can never be fabricated. Statements that have been recorded by the Enforcement Directorate, and I'm quoting, these households denied having taken money for watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. Their statement corroborates with the raw data which was maintained independently by BAR. The data indicted Republic. Parambir said it, the Lutyens media echoed it, but no one, absolutely nobody showed what this data was. Now for the first time, the data is out in black and white. Data that showed that all the interested parties tried to suppress has now come out.
Supporting the ban on PFI and its 8 affiliate organizations, Tripura CM Makin Saha has lauded the centre for taking this step. Now, the Chief Minister of Tripura said that this was essential for the integrity of the country.
देश का अखंडता के लिए ये होना बहुत ज़रूरी है और इनके बारे में बहुत दिन से चर्चा हो रहा था, तो आज ये घोषणा हुई है, इसीलिए मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। त्रिपुरावासी की तरफ से मैं हार्दिक शुभेच्छा मैं कहता हूँ होम मिनिस्टर को, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को। बहुत ही अच्छा। कौन कहता है? जो कहता है वो देश को नहीं मोहब्बत करते हैं, ये लोग कहता है। जो देश को मोहब्बत करते हैं कभी नहीं कहेंगे ये चीज़।
Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot will meet Sonia Gandhi today. The agenda of the meeting is said to be the solution of the ongoing internal politics in the state of Rajasthan.
मिलूंगा कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट से, सोनिया जी से, उसके बाद में मैं बात करूंगा आपसे।
Page 34 says, some of the statements were contrary to the statement given to the Mumbai police inasmuch as they denied watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. The most shocking fact is BAR had the data. Why did BAR hide this data which proves there is no evidence against Republic? What a tremendous conspiracy. Tremendous conspiracy this has been against Republic. So the real scam is of the rigging of data. Rather, should I say it's over the fabrication of data. Parambir. Ladies and gentlemen, truth prevails, Satyameva Jayate, and that's exactly the case of what has happened in the case of the 138-page Enforcement Directorate report, which is the final report on the much talked about TRP scam. Ladies and gentlemen, on the 8th of October 2020, right when the entire country was celebrating the success of the Republic Media Network, a person called Parambir Singh did a press conference in the middle of the afternoon, and he said that no, Republic are fraudsters, Republic are cheats. And they said that I am a bribe giver. But worst of all, ladies and gentlemen, worst of all, almost unbelievable, if they called me a bribe giver, they called you a bribe taker. They said the people of India take bribes from Republic to watch them. That is what they said. And they said the relationship between Republic and its viewers is one of money, where the viewers are paid money to watch Republic. Can you believe it, viewers? I am but another journalist. I have just about sufficient funds to run this network. I do not have the money, the inclination, or the time, or the interest to bribe 1.4 billion people. It was such a ludicrous thing to say or to insinuate, but in the heat of the moment, and with a lot of our quote-unquote rivals wanting to have a go at us, political parties who've hated us for years for being your voice, and a lot of the people in the establishment, including the corrupt policemen who felt they needed to square off with us, it was an opportune moment to go after Republic. Ladies and gentlemen, we vowed at that point of time that come what may, Republic will neither break nor even be touched. And we said, like we always believe, the truth will expose them all. And the truth, ladies and gentlemen, is astonishingly predictable in one part. I've always said so. In my tough or easy moments, in my successes or my defeats, in my lowest moments, and in the greatest success that I've had, I have had no doubt in my mind that the truth eventually emerges like a tsunami. It opens the doors itself. It does not need someone to open the doors for it. And that is what has happened here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this tonight. And I shall speak less because I have some very eloquent speakers lined up. The fact of the matter is, you did not need a 138-page ED report to know we were innocent. You believed in us. And I know that. And you know that. But you need this report sometimes for external validation. Rhythm is with me in the studio, more a friend than a colleague. Same I'd say to Shawan, more a friend and brother than a colleague. But the fact is, we did not need external validation. But before I go to our first guest, a very eminent lawyer, Ryan Karanjawala of Karanjawala and Company, who I'm told is already live with us. Thank you, Ryan. I'd like to give a word to Rhythm and then to Shawan. We did not need this report. The graphics are another story. But people don't need a graphic to know you're innocent. What does this report essentially mean? Very briefly to you first and then to you.
Absolutely. As we welcome Mr. Karanjawala, who will be talking to Arnab in just a short while. Viewers, Arnab, what we are talking about, the ED report says two things. One, everything that the Mumbai police in its charge sheet said has been demolished because the householders, they said, have not taken any money. There is no evidence to show that they took money from Republic TV. The second, they say the forensic report that the Mumbai police so much relied upon in their supplementary charge sheet is actually not accurate. The reason it's not accurate is because half the facts were not in it. The third thing they've said is that the person in Republic TV, Ghanshyam Singh, who was jailed for 26 days at Taloja, actually didn't even know the person whom the Mumbai police claimed he had given a bribe to, taken money from. Both of them had never heard of each other. All these claims show that they're demolished.
Incredible. Ryan's listening on. Before I come to him, let's also tell him, Shawan, that eventually a lawyer needs facts. Absolutely. A policeman needs facts. You can't make an argument and then do the reverse engineering for facts. You can't say, I'm going to fix Republic, I don't like Arnab, I'm going to fix Republic. I need to fix him. Let's find a way of fixing him and then reverse engineer the case. That's what happened here, and that is what is coming out in this report, because there is no raw data, there is absolutely no statement, and there is nothing really to prove what was claimed on the 8th of October 2020.
Well, in fact, so-called super cop at that point in time completed the investigation in 4 hours.
I can't believe it, but
enforcement director took 2 years. Wow. 2 years to complete this particular investigation and then come to a conclusion, giving us a clean chit, that too based on multiple corroborative evidence. And that's the clincher, I would say, that today everyone with us who believed in us, our viewers, everyone who believed in us, this 138-page reflects that same, that there is evidence to show raw data that has been brought in from BARC, which was not provided or not taken into consideration by the Mumbai police, and it was a half-baked report, a fake forensic audit report. Enforcement Directorate went to an independent auditor, checked their entire investigation, and then finally gave that report. 138
A few parts of the report before Ryan responds. He'll find it useful. Page number 80. Ryan, in case you have not seen the full report in detail. Findings of the probe not in consonance with the Mumbai police, which means Mumbai police is saying completely different things. Second, page 81. Analysis of viewership pattern shows that the households are watching channels other than Republic. 87, the households in the panel deny having taken any money for watching Republic or Republic Bharat. All our statements under PMLA section 50, which has a lot of legal validity, as you know. Page 87, statements by household corroborate with the raw data maintained by BARC denying the Mumbai police claim. 87, relationship managers stated they never paid any households to watch Republic. Page 87, there is absolutely no financial or fund trail to connect any payment of monies by the Republic Media Network. And page 89, finally, Ryan, there is no evidence to indicate the role of Republic TV in bribing households. This is a 2-year, 138-page investigation with 7,000 pages of relevant appendices. Your first response, as a lawyer who's dealt with many such cases in the past. Ryan, what do you think?
Arunab, congratulations.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you.
I always expected this, but I'm very glad it happened. Honor has been restored. I remember talking to you about this case around the time when it happened. You just come out of jail. Arunab, you will remember what we spoke about.
Yes, sir.
And what you were really upset about was not the fact that you'd been incarcerated, though you knew it was false incarceration. What you were really upset about was the fact that you thought, or you were worried, that some of your credibility would be affected, that some of the channel's credibility would be affected. Those were the issues that were at that point of time worrying you the most. And I'm very glad to see, I'm sorry, I'm going out of frame. And I'm very glad to see that that whole situation has been rectified. As I've rightly said, honor has been restored. And I'm very happy to hear that. Aruna, I came in a little early on this program and I heard what was being said by the earlier two speakers who had said that you should now go ahead and prosecute and go against the people who had filed these cases. If you recollect, that was
yes,
what
they spoke
Mr.
about
Manan
malicious
and
prosecution.
Mr. Pai, malicious prosecution. But I want to make a slightly different and an additional suggestion. I think use this opportunity to use your channel to have what is called a citizen's watch. Today, the need of the hour is that there are many people who, unlike you, don't have the means and resources to fight against a corrupt police or a sort of a vengeful government. Use this channel, use this opportunity, use this learning to have a citizen's watch, which will enable you to, I'm sorry, I think I'm going out of frame.
No, a little bit. If you can lean a bit to the left, it'll be fine. I can hear you though very well. Yes, that's much better. Thank you so much. Much better.
Okay, yeah.
Please continue.
What I'm saying is, use this channel to go ahead and ensure that you people become one of the people that fight for human rights. That will be a far more salutary lesson to learn than just going against people who prosecuted you.
I think I take that very well. May I ask you something, Ryan? Today, state governments, all governments, they go against media who are uncomfortable with them. And the issues are not always ideological. If they were ideological, it would be something else. Sometimes it is purely about personal interest. We are fighting cases in Bengal with the Mamata government, in Rajasthan with the Ashok Gehlot government. We fought cases with the PFI. By the way, the PFI has filed the most cases against Republic. Litigation is par for the course. However, is it not necessary, is one of the lessons not this, that even within the media, which may not agree on issues and which may compete, sometimes as viciously as possible, that it should never become a situation where any media starts sympathizing with police or politicians simply because they feel that is a useful tactic. So if Maharashtra government and Parambir and Congress don't like Arnab or Republic, then let's go after them, let's join hands with anyone in order to fix Republic. That is not a very healthy approach, is it, Rand? So I think I said today, it's a victory for all media, not for Republic. I said even for the newsrooms of Times Now or India Today, it should be seen to be a victory. How many times does a news organization defeat such an organized attempt by a state government? It's so difficult. What do you think, Ryan? What do you think?
I agree with you. I think the time has come when the media also stands up for itself and fights back. And if they can do so collectively rather than individually fighting amongst themselves, that would be much better. I totally agree with you. And I think, this is one of the examples that you have to come forward with. And as I said earlier, use this occasion to also lend your might and your power to the ordinary citizens who have suffered the same kind of fate that you are.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you won't be able to do it in many cases, but you can single out a few, just 1, 2, 3, and see that justice is at least sought to be met or is helped to be met. There's no doubt about it. And what ultimately, I'll tell you, Aruna, what ultimately came to your favor was something that I remember old man Sirvai, H.M. Sirvai is an eminent constitutionalist. He had said in a speech of his, and he had said it, I think, when he was arguing the judge's case, the first judge's case. He said, and this is important to remember, he said, the sanction of truth is that it holds together.
Wow.
The sanction against falsehood is that it falls apart. So, As far as you're concerned, the falsehood has fallen apart.
Very, very well said, sir. Very well said. I thank you very much. Today's indeed a very special day for us, and you made the time for us, and that means a lot to all of us. Ryan.
But Aruna,
yes, Ryan.
I'm going to take another minute.
Oh, please do.
Just point out to the viewers something else.
Yes.
There is a second congratulations as far as you're concerned.
Tell me.
Because to the viewers,
yeah,
I don't know, is it on screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Come, yeah.
Yeah.
So both Arunab and I have been part of an old alma mater which celebrated 100 years.
Yes.
And both of us were privileged to be asked to contribute in the anthology that was recently brought out. We missed you at the launch, Arunab.
Yes.
But congratulations again.
Well,
I can see from among the people who have written in this anthology, as you know, Amitabh Bachchan has given the foreword.
Yes.
You were the only one from the journalistic tribe who has been selected to write.
That's, I was both embarrassed and pleased. Ryan, I can tell you that today our mind goes through one of the greatest alumni of the Delhi University as well, the late Mr. Arun Jaitley, and he knew the struggles we went through to launch Republic. That book is a good read, and I'm privileged to share some space with you there. I'll come and meet you next time, Ryan. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Catch you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. That's so lovely. It's so personal. So personal. I want to go to our next guest, Ranjana Kumari. But before that, Ranjana Kumari, I want to go across to a few points about part 1 and 2 about how Republic was fixed. And I first want to hand it over to you, Shavan, to take over part 1. Part 1, which is there. We have the part on dual LCN, which is number 11 of the breaking news points with us. The basic charge against us was that we're doing this great dual LCN, double frequency thing, trying to become popular, force our viewership in, and that is exposed out there. But I want you to talk about the first part, how Republic was fixed. Maybe you can make that point there. Basic evidence, 2 minutes. Can you tell people what's in that report?
So this report clearly puts out full details of one, the first big charge, that did we or did we not bribe households? ED says 32 households we have gone to, not a single household has said that money was given to them. Then we have raw data analysis of the raw data, where if you can clearly see it's all 0-0. All 0-0, which
that's
basically means
part. It's on the screen out.
That's on the screen. So this 0-0 that you're seeing, viewers, this is the raw data provided by BARC to the Enforcement Directorate for every household that they've gone to. They've recorded the statement under Section 50 of the PMLA. They've also corroborated with this particular data that you see on your screens now, and the evidence is finally out, because Mumbai police started this entire investigation by saying that households were basically bribed. Then they also say the statement of multiple relationship managers, at least 4 to 5 of them have already come on record saying that they've indulged into the practice of paying households for watching a few other television networks. They've stated that they have never paid households to watch Republic TV or Republic Bharat.
That is the absolutely critical point. I want to bring in Ranjana Kumari, who's got a lot of experience. She's an activist. She understands the law better than most people and deals with it on a daily basis. She's also a member of our media industry in a way, because she's a board member of several media organizations, including Rhythm, the Advertising Association, the ASCI, which is the regulatory board for advertising. So I thank you very much, Ranjana Kumari, for joining us. You know about this whole TRP case. Now I want to tell you a few points and then get your reaction. They said we gave money. The raw data says not one household has been found to have taken money from Republic. And there is no corroboration of Parambir's claims. In fact, it is as clear to say there is zero evidence to indicate the role of Republic TV at all. There is no financial trail. And therefore, what comes to me is that if there's a scam and there was some people doing TRP fudging, it was someone else. Ranjana, this is what's coming out is, if there's a murder next door, somebody comes and catches you. When you know the murderer is in that house, it's as clear as that. I mean, I can't give a simpler explanation for what's going on. I'd like you to talk about what this means in terms of precedent, setting a precedent for the future, the learning of these last 2 years for you. Ranjana ji.
Well, Arnav, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Truth has prevailed.
Yeah.
and all that they did to just fix Republic or perhaps fix you, it's all was, the whole presumption that people were fooled, they were given money to watch a particular channel or particular program. I mean, look at the understanding. But when it comes to police, people, powerful state, people sitting in the government, coming together and trying to really do something to also to try to prove that something which is not true is true, then they can go to any extent. And in your case, it was so visible. You were incarcerated. I mean, so many things happened. But, today you must, not only you, all of us who have been together in it and also supported and also you stood by a lot of cause.
Yes,
Always you do. I mean, somebody, just now Ryan suggested about your standing by human rights issues.
Yes.
You have done it. So I'm very clear that this report has put a complete, you can say silenced all those people who were talking about TRP manipulation and all kinds of things. But, today is the time to reflect back and to say that now this should stop. Because this was you yesterday. It can be somebody else tomorrow. So it's better that it stops and we start looking at independence of media. We should start looking at respecting the view that media really takes up. And also start giving the space to media that it deserves and not to try to throttle it. This was an attempt to really in some way throttle the media and the voices of independence through the media. So I think that's very good, and this report is a very, very good news, not only for you, Arnav, not only for your channel, but the total media industry, and they should appreciate this, that you had to, go through all those the difficulties and a very, very difficult period in your life. I suppose I saw it from very closely. And I know that how difficult it must have been for you and for family and for everybody. But you fought. You stood by your
My
truth,
team also fought.
and your truth has prevailed. So
my team also fought. And that is, I think I just want to say this to you. You watch, I've had the privilege of knowing you for quite a while. You see, Ranjana ji, the fact is that it is not easy to launch or run a news organization of this scale. Republic is a large organization. We have expenses. There are 1,250 people working as members of Republic. I think the bigger issue which emerges is that the weakness and fear is only in the mind. What came to me, Ranjana ji, was there was an attempt to break us psychologically. Financially is one thing. Yes, financially also, but more psychologically. For me, that's been the learning. Because that's what comes out of all this, when you go through 2 years of incarceration, that's what comes out to me. But isn't it a lesson for politicians that they shouldn't try to break journalists psychologically because it may not always be successful? Isn't that a big takeaway too?
Well, it is, but Arnav, how many can stand all that? How many can go through all this? Because, you and your team stood by you. There are situations where people, not only that you start, you've been broken by outside, but also from within.
From within.
People start, deserting, people start blaming, start thinking, questioning. So I think that all because of perhaps your leadership with your team, which was so, acceptable. So, your team loved you and they really stood by you. So that's something which did not give space to all these people who were trying to break you from outside. I would say they tried everything. I mean, it was such a pain
they
to
said
watch
they
all
will
that
freeze our accounts, there was 1 month, Ranjana ji, I can tell you on a lighter note, where we released the salary a day early because we were worried that if we don't release the salary to our employees, then our accounts will be frozen. I mean, these are the kind of situations which we have been through. But to you particularly, at a personal level and as an organization, we want to thank you for standing by us and for giving your time today. Ranjana ji, thank you.
Thank you very much, and all the best, Arnav.
Thank
Be
you.
strong. You are strong. There is no need to say that, but I'm sure you succeeded. You won, and I'm sure this is what you had deserved.
Yes.
But thank you.
Thank you, Ranjana ji. Thank you very much. Thank you. Viewers, after that conversation with Ranjana ji, I want to tell you I have a very important show today. I'm going to take a break and come out. It's a special show on Truth Wins, because that's what this is all about eventually. I know some people think this is a corporate war, this, that, etc. It's, for me, yes, others may look at it that way. For me, it's not. For me, today is a victory of the entire media. Republic has fought a battle which will be written about, researched, analyzed, and placed in the annals of media history in this country for a long time, because there is no media organization that has fought and won like we have in a singular case like this. But this is not about us. This is also about you. It is about the essential fact that there was an attempt to break your trust in me, viewers. Not just break me, there was an attempt to break you. In a way, the relationship I've had with you in a 27-year career and in my last 17 years as an editor-in-chief, having led channels after channels, there's an attempt to say, let's attack Arnab's credibility. And if we all come together, or all team together, if we behave like a group of predatory falcons or parasites, then we will all come together and essentially we will break this organization and the individual. That doesn't happen, ladies and gentlemen, because the truth is on our side. You are on our side, and I shall see you with a big story. And remember, viewers, at 10 o'clock today, we're just opening up the lines, and I want to see you today. I hear phone calls. Today I want to see you. I said, let's get the video live, video conferencing in. Let's get the people. Let's get the network. Let's talk, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk for the next 2 hours. And I'll see you in a few minutes on our special program on a day when the truth has won.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Indian education sector is looking at a massive upgrade in the syllabus and teaching methods.
Most of the places there is a rote learning. We people have come out with a pedagogy where happiness is at the center.
How will this impact the learners?
It is never about that the old system was old and it had to be junk. No, it's just that we have to constantly adapt ourselves.
To know more, watch HVB Global Academy presents Right to be Happy this weekend only on Republic TV.
We have won. We are unfixable. There was an attempt to fabricate the truth against us, but that's oxymoronic because the truth, in a sense, can never be fabricated.
Statements that have been recorded by the Enforcement Directorate, and I'm quoting, these households denied having taken money for watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. Their statement corroborates with the raw data which was maintained independently by BAR.
The data indicted Republic. Parambir said it, the Lutyens media echoed it, but no one, absolutely nobody showed what this data was. Now for the first time, the data is out in black and white. Data that showed that all the interested parties tried to suppress has now come out.
Supporting the ban on PFI and its 8 affiliate organizations, Tripura CM Makin Saha has lauded the centre for taking this step. Now, the Chief Minister of Tripura said that this was essential for the integrity of the country.
देश का अखंडता के लिए ये होना बहुत ज़रूरी है और इनके बारे में बहुत दिन से चर्चा हो रहा था, तो आज ये घोषणा हुई है, इसीलिए मैं बहुत खुश हूँ। त्रिपुरावासी की तरफ से मैं हार्दिक शुभेच्छा मैं कहता हूँ होम मिनिस्टर को, प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को। बहुत ही अच्छा। कौन कहता है? जो कहता है वो देश को नहीं मोहब्बत करते हैं, ये लोग कहता है। जो देश को मोहब्बत करते हैं कभी नहीं कहेंगे ये चीज़।
Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot will meet Sonia Gandhi today. The agenda of the meeting is said to be the solution of the ongoing internal politics in the state of Rajasthan.
मिलूंगा कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट से, सोनिया जी से, उसके बाद में मैं बात करूंगा आपसे।
Page 34 says, some of the statements were contrary to the statement given to the Mumbai police inasmuch as they denied watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. The most shocking fact is BARC had the data. Why did BARC hide this data, which proves there is no evidence against Republic? What a tremendous conspiracy. Tremendous conspiracy this has been against Republic. So the real scam is of the rigging of data. Rather, should I say it's over the fabrication of data. Parambir.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. It's always an absolute pleasure and a total privilege to bring the news to you. But today, it's double the pleasure, double the privilege, and indeed, it's a moment when we need to connect one-on-one, once again, ladies and gentlemen, because this report, this final TRP report that the entire country is talking about, is not a report that exonerates only Republic. It is not a report, ladies and gentlemen, that vindicates only Republic or vindicates Arnab or Rhythm or Shaman or just a few of Republic journalists or anchors. No, ladies and gentlemen, this vindicates you. And I know, like me, you didn't need to be vindicated or exonerated, but you've been vindicated, you've been exonerated, and you have been told today that the lie that the Latins media used against you, along with their cabal and Parambir and the Uddhav government, that the lie that they spread with such absolute super confidence on the 8th of October 2020 was exactly that. An LIE lie, a white lie, a lie told without the slightest tinge of guilt. For who says a lie? Who repeats a lie? Who amplifies a lie without a sense of guilt, ladies and gentlemen? The guilt should be in the minds of the Latins media today. And yes, they ought to be guilty. Some of them, with a great deal of effort, have scampered onto television to defend themselves today. Oh, I was feeling so sorry for them, viewers, because the guilt was showing on their face. They try to be aggressive, call me names. No, ladies and gentlemen, they are guilty. And do you know what they're guilty of? They are guilty not just of calling me a bribe giver. They are guilty of calling you a bribe taker. They are guilty of saying that the people of this country have been bribed by Republic. I won't name the names of those channels, ladies and gentlemen. For I have better things to do than spend my time on desperados who are out looking defensive today. I have better things to do, ladies and gentlemen. I have channels to launch. I have to find ways to reach you. I have news organizations to launch. And I have aspirations of taking Indian media global. I have better things to do, ladies and gentlemen, than wrestle with people who are beneath my dignity to even indulge by interacting with them. But ladies and gentlemen, I think tonight, and you must think too, were you not called a bribe taker? If they said that I have the clout, the money, the resources to bribe Indians, and through bribery create India's #1 news network, then who is being attacked, ladies and gentlemen? Is it me, or is it you, or is it our country itself? Have these people no shame or remorse? Or do they have absolutely not the slightest sense of reason and logic or empathy for the country and its people that they said today? And they said, and they celebrated when it was told that the largest network in the largest democracy of the planet is a bribe giver and the people of this country are bribe takers. Well, they said that is what essentially was the inference. But viewers, you knew better. You know better. You know me better. And I know you better. Viewers, I've been a journalist for 27 years. Through 9.5 heartbreaking years as a reporter in Lutyens, Delhi, I did not give up. Through 17.5 difficult years leading India's largest news networks, I have not given up or compromised on any iota of my personal integrity. So why would I try to bribe the people of India? But viewers, at that moment, when there was so much of a shadow of doubt created, when all these channels came together and told you day after day and published day after day in their newspapers that Arnab is a cheat, he's a hawala operator. They said that the money we earn, with which we faithfully, with diligence, pay the salaries of our 1,200 employees, that they are the proceeds of crime. When they essentially said that I'm some kind of a financial terrorist, ladies and gentlemen, am I one? When they attacked me, my family, when they carried out an acid attack on me in the heart of this city where I built my career, the city of Mumbai. And for what reason? Because I had upset their apple cart. Because I'd questioned the politicians who they love? Or was it because I was breaking the NBFC scams in which they had a finger in the cookie jar? Or was it because I spoke about the rights of the sadhus who were killed mercilessly in Palghar and who did not deserve to be lynched? And why I asked Sonia Gandhi, that Mrs. Gandhi, why did you not speak up about this case of lynching? Or was it because I spoke with my heart, my passion, my reason, and my journalistic judgment that I found something extremely suspicious in the manner in which Sushant Singh Rajput died? Or is it in my view that no journalist can be a journalist in this country if he is not a nationalist? Or is it the fact that I coined the term Tukde Tukde gang or urban Naxal? Or that my views are not in consonance with theirs in Latvians? But for that reason, would you say that I bribed the people of India? I have a 138-page report. I do not need to show you this report, viewers. I don't need to see it tonight on national television and analyze the details of this report or read even 38 of the 138 pages for you to know that this report vindicates us all. But I shall tonight. And I shall tonight with a sense of pain and hurt as much as one of personal vindication. I shall read out parts of the report, for I want to set a precedent that in this country you shall not try to break a journalist or break a news organization with the kind of impunity that you tried to do in this case. Viewers, this is an endless battle. And I've only just recently started talking about it. But I believe from the bottom of my heart that you know, for I pride in the wisdom of the average Indian, for I am an average Indian too. I do not come from a wealthy background. I do not come from a dynasty. And I have not inherited this news organization. But I, like you, have a right to exist. And they tried to deny me that right, viewers. They pulled out a 100-year-old law never used since the British times to oppress and file an effective FIR against 1,000 plus journalists of the Republic Media Network, ladies and gentlemen, and all the people who say they are the champions of the freedom of speech were quiet when it happened. For they felt it would serve their short-term interest. What short-term interest was served? When they said we'll create a set of circumstances, Nawab Malik said, in which we will force Arnab to commit suicide, to kill himself. I asked them what purpose was served. When to quote unquote teach me a lesson, I was put in the same jail cell with people like Riya Chakrabarti's brother accused of being involved in the narcotics trade. And when I was put in a jail cell with people who have underworld connections, what purpose, I asked, was served? What purpose was served? And when from that jail cell at 6 in the morning till 8 at night, you're made to sit in a room with a dozen police officials who ask you deeply personal questions to essentially crush your spirit, which cannot be crushed. For when you came back to your cell, even your cellmates stood up and clapped for you, ladies and gentlemen. What purpose was served? If the purpose they thought would be served would be to crush the spirit of this organization, I say that purpose has not been served. We've come out much stronger. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the exact words. Look at the exact words in this report. For some people ask me, Arnab, why on earth have you put the entire report on your website, republicworld.com? They said people don't do that. I said, what do people do? They said they pick up parts that suit them. I said to them, the truth suits me. Let them know. Let them know with its warts and its blemishes. With every word, not one edited, let them know, ladies and gentlemen, let them know what is in the report. For I do not think the truth can be selectively edited out, so I put the whole report out, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care. Take me to court, say I have crossed the lines. If putting the truth out, for truth is my only defense, I have put the report out in the public domain, and I request you viewers, please log into republicworld.com. Ask someone to download it. Make it your weekend read, ladies and gentlemen. Make it your weekend read. And get involved in the purpose of rebuilding this country. That is the larger purpose, viewers. So I shall not speak anymore, for I can continue to speak. It is anyway a bad habit, which I am aware of. But I say with pride tonight, that Republic's 1,200 strong family is more convinced about itself than it was when we were just simply winning in the ratings. Today we have won in their heart. So first, big thank you to you, and you, Shravan and Rhythm, and everyone here. All my colleagues will be joining us tonight. And I have nothing more to say. I shall pass the floor, for they know everything. Viewers, the graphics will play on the details of the report. People will read the graphics, but they want to hear people other than me. And starting with Suhail, who I sent an email to this morning, thanking. Because he knows. He knows that we had very little money when we launched, and he knows how badly we were hurt, but he also knows how people stood by us, because this was an attempt to break us financially. Sohail, maybe you can talk about everything. All of you know in different ways. I have met all three of you in personal capacities. I've had personal conversations with you about what we have been through, and therefore I simply hand over the baton to you to speak. Sohail, please, first.
I think what happened last year, and its advent began much earlier, was reprehensible for various reasons. Number one, it was ultra-virus immorality. You know, ultimately, it's the morality that will make you pass through. What also happened was there was a clear, directed agenda against you, Arnab, against your family, against the boy that I've seen grow up, your son Che, against your wife, most importantly, against normal, simple, middle-class people who eke out an honorable living, knowing that they're doing something that they're meant to do, their job. What happened was you saw the full might of the state machinery manipulated by a dishonest person and persons who today languish. You know, karma always bites you in this lifetime. This whole thing about next lifetime doesn't work. Where are Parambir and Vaze today? In the doghouse. Why? Why did they have to manipulate the truth? Why did they have to fall in line with people who were manipulating the truth? What was Republic doing? Let's ask ourselves, what did Arnab Goswami set out to do? He set out to start a media channel, set out to start a media empire. Has it not been done before in India? It has. Has it not been done before in the world? It has. Have people not become entrepreneurs from being salaried employees? They have. Did you ever cheat when you were in Times Now? No. I saw you at NDTV? No. I saw you before that at Ananda Bazaar? No. What wrong did you do? You only did one mistake. You didn't kowtow, you didn't kowtow, you didn't bow before the powers that be, and you let your integrity rule. You let your integrity rule your heart, you let your integrity guide your mind, and you let your integrity guide the spirit of what Republic was and is and shall remain all about. You weren't out to make money, because if that was the case, I would have known. You bought out investors because you didn't want the investors to have the heat on them. That's how much you cared for your investors. You didn't ask anyone for money. You looked at advertisers with great respect. I know the meetings you had with Coca-Cola and with Samsung. Yes. I know the meetings that you've had with people.
Yes.
These were meetings because of the Republic's TRPs, because of the basis of business that you had set about. And all that was washed away by mere allegations. Allegations which were never supported, which were never proved. You talk about the emergency was kindergarten compared to what they did to you. It was vendetta. You know, when the state unleashes vendetta, it does not only unleash vendetta on an Arnab Goswami, or on a Samya, or on a Che, or on a Rhythm. It unleashes vendetta on the minds of every common man who has every right, as the Prime Minister says, to aspire, be inspired, and achieve. That was the slap on the face. They were slapping the face of every man who dared to dream, every woman who dared to aspire, every child who believed that they could do it too, if Arnab Goswami can do it. That, to my mind, was the biggest blow. And today you stand vindicated. None of your advertisers left. Your advertisers believed you. Yes. You know, the truth has a very nice way of staying in the background.
Yeah.
Barking dogs bark, the caravan keeps moving on. Today you've moved on. You've moved on. And you've moved on because in your heart and in your soul, you stood tall and you stood honest and you stood truthful. And that, to my mind, my friend, is your biggest attribute. They can take away everything. They can't take away your integrity, as they can't, as they mustn't, as they never will.
Well, thank you, Sohail. Every word means a lot. You've been like an elder brother. Disagree with you on 99% of things. But you stood with me despite that. And yes, people say, did we go to Coca-Cola and Samsung and Hero to seek advertising? I said we do, but we don't steal and we don't cheat. And that's what the people of this country know. Sohail, I want to address the questions very directly today, Rhythm and Shravan, because I don't think there should be any room for speculation. Please tell the viewers why they should believe, first with you, Shravan, that indeed it is true that it has now been found that the entire charge was an evil fabrication. If they say, okay, we'll read the report, but we don't have the time to read the whole report, will you give us a synopsis of it? And they can match what you're going to say right now with what they find in that report. Can you tell me in 2, 3, 4 minutes, as much as you wish, Shravan, why they should believe you?
Well, it started on 8th of October when the filthy fabrication began against Republic Media Network. And just one line, Arnab, I would say that they colluded because they could not stand an independent media network that is run by a journalist. This is a newsroom full of passionate people, and
yes,
that's where the problem began. It began with this particular allegation that was leveled that people love this network. They had a problem with the entire nation coming together supporting Republic Media Network. So Parambir Singh then decided to come on television with calling some friendly channels, saying that Republic Media Network is now accused of bribing households. They did not quantify at that point in time how many households had named us. It turns out of billions of people, 12 households were selected by the Mumbai police to say that we had bribed them. And how much? 500 rupees each household, and nothing beyond that. They did not have any evidence. It was a pure accusation. Now let's take a look at this 138-page report. On page number 87, the first big point, the entire basis of this Mumbai police investigation completely blown into smithereens by when the enforcement directorate says, and I quote, under section 50 of the PMLA Act, statements of about 32 households have been recorded. These households have denied having taken money for watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. Their statement corroborates with the raw data, which was maintained independently by BARC. Let me just explain this. What does this raw data essentially mean? An analysis of raw data that was done. This was the data that the enforcement directorate had called from BARC. The reason being, they wanted to corroborate whatever the households had to say, whether at all this was true or not. It turns out that every evidence that you see, in fact, the graphic that we have showing that there is a zero.
Yeah, the 0-0 visual. Can you explain that? That we'll put that up full frame on the screen so people will understand. Basically, viewers, they said we paid money so people watch.
Yeah.
In the raw data, you will see the 0-0 there on the screen. Please watch carefully. What this basically means is the households which were told took bribes to watch us were not watching Republic at all. If we were paying them money, why were they not watching Republic? Will Parambir now say we paid them money so they didn't watch? If MR is laughing. MR, you get that? It's crazy. It's beyond crazy. MR. Are you seeing that graphic out there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny and it blows on their face that you are actually bribing them not to watch it.
Not to watch.
And that is the charge against you.
Now they'll say,
not to watch.
Precisely. It's madness. It's madness.
And this is so funny. See, that is why. And this data probably is coming 2 years later and probably is putting things in the right perspective. But we all knew on October 8th, I was on your channel, and I distinctly recall, and Arnab, we all stood by you. Not only me, I am the unofficial president of the viewers of the Republic Society. In the sense, we all watch Republic, and we all love to watch your channel. And we have differences, as you said. Probably we on a conversation we don't agree on several things, but doesn't mean that we don't respect. And why do we respect you, Arnab? The reason is you are a quintessential middle class Indian. You have risen by your dint of hard work. You had the caliber. You rose against all odds. You challenged the high and the mighty. And you are the person who actually are one of those very rare breed of journalists who made it big in the independent capacity as a owner. It's an owner editorial channel is a rarity. That you have done. You are not, Republic is not controlled by some set sitting in somewhere and dictating the editorial content. You are the editor. We see you live 9 p.m. every day, and sometimes slightly earlier also. And that you have forayed into Hindi, that you went into Bengali, all created a chaos. You are a disruptive force. And the corporates, and your competitors, and the politicians all came together. A cabal formed automatically. It was a natural cabal against you. And these two hatchet men, these two mercenaries were called in to actually stymie the progress of the Republic.
Do a hit job, MR. But I want to say one more thing, MR. One more thing, which is the breaking news points from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 we broke today. You see, now there are references and several references and questions raised about Times Now, about alleged irregularities, about complaints of irregularities vis-a-vis Times Now, which the ED, Rhythm, not me or you, which the ED is saying it needs to properly investigate. Now, I did not tell the ED to say that. They are saying so through their own analysis. They are talking about show causes sent. They are talking about a further investigation in progress. They are saying that BARC has not given us certain videos. Times Now says that no, BARC has given us a clean chit, but ED says the videos are not there. And there are allegations out there, and there are various other things. The ED has used the word alleged malfeasance on the part of Times Now, coinciding with the period of the BARC audit report, which means that they have seen an abnormal increasing time spent in watching Times Now vis-a-vis other English news channels. In fact, they say that the viewership went up 5 times, so they had to exercise controls. Now, if BARC found those trends suspicious and exercised controls, they were doing it themselves. But most importantly, Rhythm, most importantly, Times Now always said that it deserved the #1 ranking, and they have my understanding, and to an extent I would say they have my empathy, and they may not like it, they have my sympathy too. For who would like to lose a #1 ranking, especially when under Arnab's leadership the channel was #1 consistently week on week for over a decade? Who would want to be taken off the #1 position? But the ED report totally destroys the claim, where the ED auditor, in part 5 of our breaking, the ED auditor says there is no indication of any alleged modification of rankings that resulted in manipulation, which means that Times Now's claim that it deserved the #1 position has come down in public. Now, I have not said that. It is the ED, Rhythm. It is the ED which has said that. It is the ED auditor who has said that the analysis of emails of BARC officials, SOP of BARC, statements of BARC officials taken by ED, and iMessage conversations of BARC officials does not inter alia refer to alterations of ranking of Times Now below that of Republic TV. Again, I point out here, you are a chartered accountant, you know what I'm saying, MR. I am not saying it, it's the ED which is saying that. If you're angry with the ED, why take it out on me? But the ED is an investigating agency. And an ex-BARC official has said that there was suspicious behavior, that's why there was vigilant scrutiny. Times Now says there should not have been vigilant scrutiny. Again, it is their business. It is their business, ladies and gentlemen. If a BARC official has spoken, ex-BARC official has spoken about Times Now, I am only faithfully reproducing and reporting without any commentary attached with it what is written out in the ED report. Now, that is my democratic right. And if the ex-BARC CEO Sunil Lulla is saying, I was not informed about the vigilance proceedings against Times Now, that was not part of the audit report, that internal confusion of BARC vis-a-vis this alleged vigilance report on Times Now is again between BARC and Times Now. Yes. And I am faithfully reproducing what is in the ED report. Now people will ask, what if the vigilance proceedings were included? Does this mean that the BARC forensic report that Parambi tried to tom-tom was incomplete? Again, these are questions that it's for Times Now to handle. But they cannot stop me or anyone in the media in this country, Karthik, Rhythm, from reporting on it. And there is nothing selective. I put the whole report in the public domain. Viewers, I hope you are going on republicworld.com and reading it. Now, viewers, going back to the issue, I have always said, Rhythm, we need to rise above this. We need to look at this as a victory of the media. We don't need to look at this as a victory of Republic or a defeat of Times Now. That is a very narrow focus of it. It is really a victory of the media because there was an attempt at putting evidence against Republic and getting that amplified in order to create a narrative against Republic. Our victory today, all this material which is now coming out, is actually a victory for everyone in the media, but I don't know if that message is going through. Rhythm.
I don't think so, Arnab. And I think I'll just take our viewers through the pages that we are talking about. When Sunil Lulla's, we just saw the graphics of a BARC head who had at one time said, yes, there were certain pages, but they were not shown to me. There are pages that say BARC reported they received household complaints and there were channels that had to be looked at and BARC requested for those videos. However, BARC, I beg your pardon, ED requested for those videos from BARC, but they were not provided to them. But the most important thing, Arnab, and today what we are concentrating on is our victory, like you said, the victory that needs to be shown, where Republic has, the ED report says, not found any evidence in bribing or influencing people, and then they go on to say there was no financial fund trail to connect payments of monies by Republic to any of these people.
Yeah.
This is the kind of vindication that I think the entire media needs to stand up for, because they need to be united when we're talking about press freedom.
Absolutely. That's a larger point. And a quick reference here to what we already reported earlier, this cash for views charge, which is at India Today. Again, it is for India Today, and I'm not saying India Today has been found guilty. It's under investigation. That's all right. The truth will come out. It's not for us to comment on it. But again, the fact is that there are certain statements under the PMLA which have been recorded. There are certain confessions of Vishal Bhandari. There is talk of an extra meter, and it's the ED which is investigating this matter. Shaman, it's as simple as that.
Absolutely. It's just talking about at least about a couple of households.
Yeah.
At least 13 such references have basically been made. And I'm just simply quoting from one of the statements that has been recorded of the Deputy General Manager of Hansa. And they say that Vinay, we do not know who exactly is this person, Vinay. Vishal Bhandari admitted that he was being approached telephonically by a person named Vinay to convince 5-panel homes in Mumbai to watch India Today channel daily for 2 hours.
Yes.
For the said task, Vishal Bhandari was paid 5,000 as a commission. 200 per month were distributed to each panel household.
ED which will investigate.
These are allegations, but they are saying, but ED also makes a point that investigation is underway.
It is underway, and that's it. Let the ED do its job. Now, viewers, I do not believe in giving unsolicited advice to my colleagues in the media, in Lutyens media and anywhere in the media. But I believe, viewers, if I go to a larger picture and I want to bring in some graphics regarding the dual LC and also that, and while we run the graphics, I'll say something else and I'll go to explain what those graphics are about. But viewers, some are trying to portray this as media versus media match. And I have, Karthik, outgrown this silly, childish media versus media battle. This should be seen as a collective victory for the entire media. I look at it simply, and I'm not trying to be, self-congratulatory at all. What I'm trying to say, the great thing today is that a media house has defeated a government. How often does it happen? Right. Is that itself not something to be happy about?
Right.
Yes, but Arnab, 2 minutes. Here, it's very generous of you to say that this is a victory of the media. And yes, you're right. It is the victory of the media if the media is honest and truthful in the way it conducts its business. The problem is all of this started because of a collective merger of two very potent things. One is unbridled envy of your rivals, and two, unbridled power of the state government at that point of time. Unbridled envy, we don't have to go through that. Rival channels, they were aghast that, how is this upstart of a channel? Yes, it has the name Arnab Goswami behind it, but how is this new channel defeating us? In TRPs and, by huge margins. And, on a consistent basis. It's not like one tukka, one fluke this year. It was on a consistent basis. So how is this upstart of a channel defeating us? So unbridled envy. And then you tried to question many aspects of the Maharashtra government at that point of time, and in a very bold and a very vociferous way. That led to the government being desperate to clamp down on this voice, because they also thought, who is this? Why is this upstart of a channel raising questions at us and showing us the mirror? So that unholy nexus, if I can use that word, came together and essentially did what it did, and we all saw, and it was really an abomination and a shame. But I want to say one more thing. This is, I came to the Republic office in Noida, and I met you at that point in time. And actually, before I came to your office, I thought that, you must be in this secluded ivory tower, with opaque walls or even, full furniture walls. And, I'll wait outside, etc.
You thought so?
Honestly,
that's funny.
You are, listen, I hadn't met you until then. But when I came, the person from Republic who escorted me said that, हाँ ये sir, आप यहाँ पे इनकी office में बैठ जाओ, ये आ ही रहे. And I said, इनकी ये office है? What kind of an office is this? This seems to be an office of maybe a floor manager. And you came in, said hi in the warmest way. And what happened thereafter was something, and the reason I'm saying this personal anecdote is not because I want to talk about me. It's because that day was the swearing in of Yogi Adityanath as the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister the second time. He had won the elections.
Yeah, I remember.
And I remember we were having this conversation, and there was a huge roar right outside where all your staff members were sitting, because they were monitoring the progress of Republic, and they basically shouted, and I said, what happened? And that's when they said that, Republic Hindi is #1 in viewership for the swearing-in ceremony of Yogi Adityanath, because your staff actually got access to people in the Gorakhpur Mutt. And why I'm saying this is because you have the pulse of the viewer, which is what explains your success. Not this, fake 500 rupees per viewer and, all this nonsense.
Yeah.
You know what the viewer wants to see on momentous occasions like these. And because you are able to do that, and because your team infused within themselves this spirit that, and they felt a sense of ownership of Republic. How often have we seen this in organizations, where the owner is someone as popular as you? You are, you have a name, you're the Arnab Goswami, but you are there mingling with everyone, you are hugging everyone, that yes, Republic is #1 in viewership right now. And I was just standing there, behind in a corner and just observing this. And I really thought that this man, like, MRV said, before, you really represent the average middle class India, which is the majority of India. You do not represent this elite that is cocooned, somewhere in an ivory tower, away from the hoi polloi, of the Republic. You are mingling, you are taking selfies. Your employees were saying,
I say this, that I'm so kind of you, first of all, Karthik, so kind of you. And I must say that you came with your wonderful book on Smriti Irani, which was a fantastic read. It was a pleasure to meet you. I have one thing to say today. The truth cannot be convenient. And my questions are here. Some people are now questioning the ED report. MR, would you agree with the ED report if it agreed with Parambir? What is this logic?
So,
by attacking the ED, are you defending Parambir? These are questions. See, some channels have started doing that right now. Oh, the ED is terrible. How ED has a bad track record. So, what did you want? You wanted a customized report. It doesn't work that way. Yes.
Arnab, the statements recorded by the ED under section 50, subsection 2 and 3 have an evidentiary value. These are admissible evidence in a court of law. These are not statements made before a police officer. These are made before ED officers who have a force of law, and this has an admissibility in a court of law. So to that extent, these are not to be brushed aside or poo-pooed like what other channels are doing, and they are doing it at their own peril. Probably this night they may have a hearty laugh, but the fact of the matter is that it will come back to bite them very badly sooner than later.
And one more point.
Sooner than later.
Yeah, it will come back. It's already doing it. See, I want to give one simple point, and I want to take this point now to Sohail. Shravan can explain it. Shravan, explain this dual LCN theory. They basically said, and Sohail, you'll have a good laugh about it. They said that I am so rich. We in Republic have so much extra money that we have bought double frequency, triple frequency, quadruple frequency, penta frequency, that they are saying that as of now, if you're watching this channel, you're probably watching it on 5 frequencies. And I said at that point of time that even if you are, first of all, I don't have the money to do that, but even if you are watching 5 frequencies, you will watch me talking to Sohail Seth. There won't be 5 Sohail Seths. My viewership won't go up 5 times. It's elementary logic. Suppose you're watching there is one TV set. In one TV set at the same time, if you're watching one football match, you're watching one football match. If you put 5 screens on your TV, and some TVs can have 5 screens put together, it will still be one football match. For God's sake, the viewership does not go up if you have dual LCN.
Right.
You know, though I can tell you, being the narcissist that Sohail is, Sohail will love to be on 5 screens at the same time. But it is not going to increase the viewership. But this stupidity was put across to everyone, and this is what the TRP report says. Sohail, before you, let Shravan explain what is this complicated language of dual LCN. What does it mean? We'll run the graphic, explain it 30 seconds, and then we'll go to Sohail.
In fact, it's a statement that has been recorded of one of the BARC officials.
What does he say?
He clearly says that.
Say it in a non-technical way. This is very technical.
So they're basically saying just for 30 seconds, BARC has clearly stated that the channel needs to be more than 30 seconds. If they have to take the measurement in, you have to be on it for a couple of seconds. Dual LCN, and I'm quoting, is not a means of infiltration of BARC's panel homes viewership. BARC is of the view that dual LCN does not impact the accuracy or precision of BARC's audience viewership estimates. In one line, that there is no impact. It does not have any impact.
This was fake news.
But just to add this point, Mumbai police went on an overdrive. They said dual LCN has a massive impact and it's going to lead to an unusual spike in the viewership.
I'll take a word from Sohail on this. Sohail, simply put, we'll keep this graphic on. You see, people don't know these technical terms. You can put out an article in a newspaper and write the article in such a way that it looks very complicated and then say Arnab is under investigation for this. You know, now...
See, thing that viewers...
So the role of the media also comes into question.
Yeah, but one thing your viewers need to understand is that advertising and space doesn't work that way. Advertising doesn't only go on ratings alone, because the media buying agencies are well aware of the kind of response people are getting, and there are other research tracking devices. I do quali, I do quanti, I figure out what's happening. BARC is only one of the elements, and it lacks the bite that these people assume it has. A, B. What has happened here is 4 things. Number 1, you have tried to muddy the waters by using technical jargon, and even there you have lied to the people. Number 2, the Bombay police is not a bad institution, but 2 people ruined it beyond repair because they had a personal agenda, they had a state-inspired vendetta, and they believed that they could drag an independent media house to its knees. The third casualty in this are people like Venkat and me and Karthikeya. Why? Because we, for a moment, were told by the powers that be that the person we trusted is not the person we trusted. Luckily, Venkatesh and Karthikeya and I don't belong to the herd mentality where we believe everything we hear. But what do you think it could have done? I know for a fact, Arnab, and I shared this with you multiple times, there were people writing from other channels, from other media houses to your clients, to all clients, saying that, look, Arnab is in trouble. They fudged the ratings.
Can you explain that? Because if I say it, what happens, Sohail? If I say people, I just want to tell you viewers what Sohail is talking about, and I'm giving the inside story. These channels, which in the morning would come and say that Arnab is a TRP chol, etc., in the afternoon would ask their sales managers to write letters to companies, including global companies, saying that Arnab is a scamster and the money which you are advertising on Republic, you please give it to us. So this was purely an attempt. It was a fight on money. And I'm glad Sohail has raised it, because this is going to be a talking point across the country. Yes, Sohail.
But you know, I have to tell you, in all my years, in those days in advertising and now, I never imagined people would stoop so low in order to conquer.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the most vicious way of earning money, by decrying, by denuding people, by diluting the truth, and then by going ahead and hurting people. Who were you hurting? You were hurting your colleagues in the same profession.
It's ridiculous.
You were hurting people who believed you.
That's ridiculous.
For what reason? Now the truth is out. Now with what face have you, what face do you have to face the world, as it were?
You know, Sohail, it is
also happened
frightening.
The entire television business has shamed itself.
Yeah, it's completely shamed
Republic will
itself.
get out.
It's,
and you know,
it's shamed
all the one point that Shravan also made, and I want to make this categorical. People have been abusing the ED, qua Bengal, qua, Rajasthan, qua whatever. Let me tell you, I'm glad that ED is doing it, even if it is doing it for political reasons. I'll tell you why. When they investigate, they find the dirt. They don't come out empty-handed. 73 crores was found with Partho Chatterjee and his lady friend. Today, if the ED is investigating, it is proving to the world that it investigates with diligence, with vigor, and with rigor.
Yeah.
It is not an agenda-driven investigation like the Mumbai police under Parambir Singh and Sachin Vase was.
Yeah.
Today, someone has to tell us the truth. Imagine if there was no ED. Imagine if there was no ED. Venkatesh is a lawyer as well. Someone would have taken you to court, Arnab, on the basis of a fraudulent, manufactured, malified investigation and dragged you over the coals. Would that have been fair? Ultimately, justice is about fairness.
I totally am with you on that. And I want to read out, as I thank this panel, what I consider, and if he gives me the privilege of saying this, I consider him a mentor and a guide, Mr. S. Gurumurthy, the preeminent journalist and activist, has said today, congrats Republic and Arnab. It is disgraceful that a government and its police official fabricated evidence against them. Maharashtra government and police stand exposed. It is sad, he says, that Arnab and Republic had to undergo arrest and all the persecution on forged evidence. He also says that the Hansa research group, which stood by the group and filed truth and filed affidavit in court too, was threatened with arrest. He says, my respect to the group which upheld the principles of its founder R.K. Swamy, a friend who stood by me when I was arrested on March 13th, 1987 midnight on a forged letter. Forgery was done against, if it can be done against Mr. Gurumurthy, then we are small fries. But having said that, as I thank this panel, I would like to play a chat I had some time back with one of India's topmost advocates in the Supreme Court, Mahesh Jetpalani. Here it is. And ladies and gentlemen, with me right now is one of the most respected legal luminaries in the country, senior advocate, Supreme Court, member of the Rajya Sabha. But for me, if I may say so, and I would begin with a grateful thanks to Mahesh Jetpalani. In my career, his father, Ram Jetpalani, has stood by me on so many occasions. And in this case, when I was in jail, and I want to say this today, the one person who got my case mentioned in the High Court, which meant a lot. Because you need someone of stature to mention your case in the High Court, was none other than Mahesh Jetpalani, who appeared pro bono for us and did that. So many, I would congratulate you as well for today's news, and I always want to say this, that I'm forever in your debt for that, Mr. Jetpalani. And I would like your take on the information that has come out. Mr. Jetpalani, the real TRP data, the raw data, which had not come out in any public form, in a written form, has come out after 2 years. And it shows that there is zero evidence in terms of data or statements against Republic. And this is an ED investigation, so the statements and the data have very strong legal validity. both from a overall perspective as well as legal perspective, since you know about the case, what would your view be on the implications of this?
Well, Arnav, there is undoubtedly no doubt in my mind that as far as Republic was concerned, it was an attempt by the MVA government to fix Republic and you in particular for your stringent views, against the corruption and your views against the leaders of the respective factions of the MVA. So this was a manipulated investigation. I have no doubt about that. And I say this not because of any instinct or any political motive. I say this because having read large excerpts from the ED report, and the ED report, mind you, Arnav, is far more painstaking than it has spanned a lot more days of investigation, is far more painstaking, therefore, than the Mumbai police report. The Mumbai police report is extremely, hasty. It seems to have been conceived with a predetermined motive. Witness statements have been taken which have now been turned out to be false, to implicate Republic in bribing relationship managers of Hansa, which was the monitoring agency for the meters, for the raw data, and also for what is known as panel households, which are really sample households, which were taken to establish Republic's complicity in trying to gain a spike in viewership by paying bribes. Now, all those, the ED investigation seems to show that none of the panel households have in any way implicated Republic. The relationship managers have said that they don't even know the personnel from Republic and have had no role in taking money from them to pass it on to households to increase Republic's viewership. More important than that, the raw data exists. And finally, even more important than that, the persons who claim to have said they received money, A, the relationship managers, and B, the households concerned, themselves have said, we never received any money. So this is whatever evidence is there or claimed to be there by the Mumbai police seems to be totally fabricated in order to fix Republic and you. Now, I say this with all, having examined the entire ED report and having had a look in the past at the Mumbai police report. So, some people have said that they never gave the statements attributed to them by the Mumbai police.
Yes.
And most of all, Arnav, I think what is really clinching for me is that there is no money trail.
There is no money trail, absolutely.
There is no money
this has
trail
been said by the ED. Sorry to intervene. Sorry to intervene. I want to quote this for you, sir, because you hit the nail on the head. If you allow me, I just want to quote the part where the ED says there is no financial or fund trail at all regarding anybody at Republic, that there is no financial trail or money trail at all. How significant is that? Because the charge is about money.
Yes. A, the charge is about money, and B, the money trail not being there is further corroborated and strengthened by the fact that there was no spike in viewership. If you had paid money, there would have been an inevitable spike in viewership. Those households, the sample households who were investigated, have revealed no spike in their viewership so far as Republic or Republic Bharat is concerned. Now, these facts, according to me, are compelling. According to me, this case which the Bombay police made against Republic is trash.
I wish to ask you something on a broader perspective, Mr. Jethmalani. Fixing, fabrication, these are important facts. And it becomes incumbent on us to ask that if prosecutions fix using fabricated evidence or manufactured eyewitness statements, sometimes with force, sometimes even more deliberately, like in the absence of any such statement, how serious is this matter? Because in India, malicious prosecution, we're already, in India, there's a fear of the process of the law. So malicious prosecution doesn't really come up as a subject of discussion. As a distinguished lawyer and also a lawmaker, what is your view on that? Because this seems to be a case of fabrication and fixing.
Arnab, the tragedy in this country is that prosecutions themselves are so long drawn out, spanning sometimes 15 to 20 years, that by the time it's concluded, even an innocent person is so fed up that he doesn't want, to extricate his pound of flesh from his persecutors who are not prosecutors. So forget malicious prosecutions. Prosecutions themselves, are seriously vitiated by delays. So until that happens, the prosecutions for malicious prosecutions, right, are going to be a distant dream.
Absolutely, but is there therefore, as someone who has also been associated with the media for a long time, Mr. Jethmalani, I said today that while people may think this is Republic being vindicated and hence it's a loss for the other channels, I don't look at it that way. I was addressing people in all newsrooms today. You're a lawyer. If a legal point is made, it's a victory for all lawyers. It's not one person's victory. Is there a message for the media there somewhere? Because I am in a privileged position of having someone as distinguished as you appear for some of our cases in Bengal and others, for example. Is there state governments do intimidate media. Nobody knows that more than you. You've dealt with enough cases. Is there a message for the political class as well, Mr. Jethmalani?
Right. Well, there's a serious message for the political class that, you should never fix people. This has become legion now in this country, is that you should never fabricate false evidence to go against not just a political rival, but in your case, somebody who belongs to the free press. So, I can understand political rivals hitting out each other, though even that should never be done. No false cases should ever be fabricated against anybody. But then to do it to somebody who's just doing his job, being an independent press, which is one of the pivots of our democracy, it's unpardonable. So that's the message for the political class. For the media, all I can say is, don't fish in troubled waters. Just because you have a rival channel whom you're competing for TRPs, there is no point, I also savaging him in your channel.
I get that. I get that point. I've been saying, don't join hands.
And don't join. By all means, by fair prosecutors, you can do it. But when a case reeks of persecution, I think the media needs to stand together.
That's a big statement coming from Mr. Mahesh Jethmalani. I thank you very much for everything, Mr. Jethmalani, and I hope that communicates my sentiment to you in fullness. Thank you so much. Chennai to Guwahati, they said we were bribing the people of India. The truth today, there is a categorical statement in the document which says households deny having taken a single iota of money for watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. It says Abhishek Kolawade has categorically stated that he has not paid the RMs for increasing the viewership of Republic TV. The TRP report brings out proof. It says there is no evidence to indicate the role of Republic in bribing the household. The raw data says there is no question of any fabrication in this case. For 2 years, you've created a case out of nothing. If this can be done to Republic, what does it mean for the criminal justice system in our country?
Amity faculty have filed over 1,600 patents. Yet another reason why Amity has been conferred with the National Intellectual Property Award by Government of India for being the top Indian academic institution for patents and commercialization.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
Enroll in any of REVA's wide range of courses designed to take on an evolving education and an expanding future. Amity University.
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है, पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाइड क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
We have won. We are unfixable. There was an attempt to fabricate the truth against us, but that's oxymoronic because the truth, in a sense, can never be fabricated.
Statements that have been recorded by the Enforcement Directorate, and I'm quoting, these households denied having taken money for watching Republic TV or Republic Bharat. Their statement corroborates with the raw data which was maintained independently by BAR.
The data indicted Republic. Parambir said it, the Lutyens media echoed it, but no one, absolutely nobody showed what this data was. Now for the first time, the data is out in black and white. Data that showed that all the interested parties tried to suppress has now come out.
Supporting the ban on PFI and its 8 affiliate organizations, Tripura CM Makin Saha has lauded the centre for taking this step. Now, the Chief Minister of Tripura said that this was essential for the integrity of the country.
देश का अखंडता के लिए ये होना बहुत जरूरी है और इनके बारे में बहुत दिन से चर्चा हो रहा था